1, 2,
No,
3.
1. No, why are you doing 3? You're making me mad.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Call Girls Investment. Sonny is freaking out. He senses that you're mad at me.
Yeah, he's yelling. He's reiterating everything I say. That's all he does. The parrot reiterates whatever
Hi everyone,
I say.
welcome to Mom Shouts at Son, the show.
You want to tell us? I sent you something about GameStop.
We're not actually going with that as our intro, are we?
Why not?
No, go
Okay.
quiet the bird and then we'll start over. How are you feeling?
I have been trying to record this podcast. God damn it.
Okay.
Okay, we recorded
3,
this podcast.
2, 1. Hi everyone and welcome to the Call Girls Investment Podcast.
I'm dying. We've tried to record this podcast multiple times. First time through, the current events are all political. So first time through, he just stared at me like
I did this. And like, you can edit that in, you can edit in footage, but whatever. We basically scrapped it because it was horrible. And
I had nothing stock related to say because every time I started to make a comment, it started politically, and then you reacted.
And then you didn't know where you were going with it.
I forgot what my point was, so then we only ended up talking about the political part.
Wait, where's the script? Oh, there it is.
Are we recording if it's green?
Is that how it works? I thought it was red when it was.
Oh my God!
Okay, no, new sync text. I'm holding a yellow marker. That's perfect.
Oh my God!
Okay, it'll be so easy to sync that. It'll be
We
so
have tried.
easy to sync
We
that.
have tried to record this podcast so many times.
No, we have to do our intro first.
Hi, Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Call Girls Investment Club podcast. Oh my God!
Oh
Okay,
my God,
so-
I'm upset that we didn't get the take.
Oh, that
of-
was so
the
funny.
take of you
Okay,
dying.
I might include that because it's on the camera.
Okay.
Oh my God!
Hey, so this is a very special episode, and that's why it's a few days later. We definitely didn't record a whole other podcast and scrap it because it was terrible and sucked. So let's move on with the script.
Well, all the current events are politically related, but because last time we got into a discussion that kind of sidetracked us from talking about stocks at all, and we don't think it's useful because we both got upset, and we decided we're going to speak about politics as they affect the stock market. And here's what we're going to do. Here's what I decided.
Okay, what did you
We're going
decide?
to look at the exact time certain things happened and look at the stock market chart. I'm using TQQQ because it's exaggerated NASDAQ chart.
And hopefully we will get through this episode with minimal political bias. Right?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
Oh my God. I'm so disappointed in America, though. Why are they falling for this crap in the media?
I think regardless of your political orientation, everyone is disappointed in America.
Honestly, yeah. I think you're right. We can agree. Yay.
We can agree, but we can't agree what we're disappointed about.
So, I think the problem too is the media. It's like people listen to their own media and they get riled up, and they think it's the facts, and nobody bothers to look at all sides. I read all media. I read the BBC. I read NBC. I read MSNBC. I read CNN. I watch CNBC, which used to be unbiased until they started their newscast last week. That's supposed to be the new unbiased news. And the guy went off on a political rant for the first half of the show about his opinion about the debate. I'm not even going to say what side it was on, but it's not unbiased. So I tuned it out and I'm never watching it again.
Okay.
Damn it. I can say damn it, can't I?
You
can I say damn it?
You can say anything on the internet.
God. This is a chart.
I almost said something really bad there.
What were you going to... Oh, yeah, okay, that I'd have to edit out. Thank you for not saying it, because I really didn't want to make one more edit. Before we get into the current events, though,
I really wanted to say it too because I knew you would
tell me
edit
the
it out.
initials.
No.
Does it have a C in it?
No, it does
Thank
not.
God. That's my least favorite word.
No, it's worse than that.
Does it have mother in it?
No.
Oh, that's
No,
nice.
you can say that on the internet. I can say motherfucker on the internet all I want.
So I sent Michael a little article about GameStop. I know you know everything in the article, so you probably didn't read it, but it told the whole history of GameStop, and the headline was something like the rise
Why
and
GameStop fell.
yeah, it's like they're implying GameStop is bankrupt or something by the
mean,
headline, but they're not bankrupt.
They can't be doing good right now. They just can't.
The reason it's doing poorly is because everybody's downloading games now. It's more convenient. And especially with COVID, that really accelerated that. However, the last 10 seconds of the piece on GameStop said that gamers like to have physical copies of their games in a collection. Sort of like
this
LPs.
is absolutely true. I'm not that kind of person. I would love to be, but I don't have a shelf. So
we used to have a lot of shelves.
I've been downloading my games and stuff for a while now. But the thing is, I really understand the mindset of that, and I think there is absolutely an audience for collectors. Like, if you're making your game room, you want to have games on display, you want to have like collectible figures, you want to create a space.
Yeah,
for
also
your hobby, essentially.
I noticed they said collectibles is a big area, and also they're trying to make a space where gamers can come back and congregate and hang out together. And I think that would be great after COVID. Everyone will want to get together.
I think that might be the case, but I also think that there's now so many other solutions, like to gaming online. They've got things like Parsec, which is really cool. It's basically... have I told you about Parsec yet?
No.
It's basically something where it lets you play local games on the computer through the internet.
With people in your neighborhood?
Really good latency. And I've heard that plenty of people were introduced to it through online, playing fighting games that are only local multiplayer online, and then going, hey, can I use this for my business? Because it lets you take control of the computer, so you can totally use it in a business situation to work remotely from home.
For a team project.
Yeah.
Wow. And is that traded on the stock market?
I do not know. I would have to do more research into it. But the name of the program is Parsec.
With a C at the end.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it. How? Tell them how your stock's doing.
I
looked last night. I don't know if it's just the carryover, but after hours it went up 3.5%.
I don't know.
What the hell's going on? We don't even know what
after hours stuff. I don't think
it doesn't.
I don't know.
It was on my phone. Oh, maybe it just displays it as. Didn't you see that it was up 3% at some point?
I did not. But I also haven't been checking Robinhood over the weekends.
Okay, you have $1,000 in it.
I have $1,000 in it.
So 3.5% is the
is
equivalent.
$30.
$35.
I've made $100 on this investment that came to me in a dream, and if I had invested more money, I would have made way more money.
I know. I remember last time you pointing at me and saying, "If I had more money to invest."
I was.
Okay, so those are your investments, and then
RTRX Retrofin. I don't know what the hell is up with that stock. It might go down eventually, but for now, oh my God, Sonny.
Oh, we have a parrot. Shh, quiet.
You okay?
So we
want a
usually record.
cracker?
I just realized we usually record this podcast at night when he's sleeping. He's like, "What the hell are you guys doing in there?"
Yeah. He's also underneath the cover because you didn't put it on all the way.
Yeah, he's peeking at us. Did you hear of Andrew Jackson's parrot? Andrew Jackson was the president of the United States, and when he died, and his funeral was this huge event. It was really formal, and they brought his parrot, and the parrot kept squawking, and it only knew how to swear. It's a true thing.
I love that.
I didn't realize that, but I saw that on the trivia game.
I also recently was watching a playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and that's a fun game where you cross-examine a parrot. So.
Oh, I remember that game. Objection.
Yeah, that's the
anime game. Okay, here's a chart. If you're at home just listening, we're going to look at 2 weeks of the TQQQ. Do you see this chart?
From October.
Yeah, it's cut off.
from this end of
September 25th.
From the
Yeah, I
end
was
of
trying to remember
September
what.
to the first week of October.
Yeah, till Friday when we were supposed to record this podcast. Do you see any major? Can you guess where Trump got COVID?
There. October
that's it.
2nd.
That big bar
Okay.
down, that first big bar down, he got diagnosed overnight. We found out about it. Market opened.
Do you have like a scan of this that you can put up on the screen?
Yeah, I'll just add it to my video.
Okay.
This is what we're looking at.
That won't help them.
So the first bar, I'm gonna shut up the parrot more.
Okay, have fun. Covering up the bird to make him go to sleep because he needs to be quiet. I'm changing up the tempo. I'm changing the dough. I'm singing nonsense words.
I can't wait to leave that in. I'm gonna leave that in. Can't hear I'm like, how come I can't hear myself? I'm like, oh right, I don't have my headphone on yet. I can't hear myself. What's wrong with my computer? Hi.
Hi. I didn't do anything while you were gone.
Okay, so here's a chart. There's where Trump was diagnosed, right there.
Cool.
Shh, it's okay. Be quiet.
He doesn't like, because I'm talking loud for the sake of the audience. He's just like, oh,
Okay, shh.
I don't like
It's
that.
a secret that we're doing this podcast.
I don't like that, he says.
Oh, I can't wait till we get to politics.
Oh my God. Well, this is fun. We're intersecting politics with other weird stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to load up a chart like this on the internet and they'll see the points. But here's the debate, this big dip. Everybody was anticipating, and each of these lines I drew is the day, each day. So it was leading up, and then the day before the debate, Tuesday, this is a presidential debate. Everybody's just waiting to see what happens. They're like, what the hell is going to happen, right? There's a debate, and then the market goes crazy up for 2 days.
It looks like it went. Oh.
Right. So I watched the debate. There was no news. We all thought Trump kind of interrupted too much, right?
Yes.
And I thought that meant Trump lost the debate. He's going to lose voters. Also, the polls said Trump lost the debate. More people are turning toward Biden. Biden looked better. But the market went up.
Well, I mean, does that mean that if Biden is winning and the market's going up?
So that's what the commentators tried to say. They said, oh, maybe the market thinks that just having a sure outcome is going to calm the market. Or, oh, maybe there won't be a contested election because if Biden wins by more votes, people won't fight it. Because they're all saying, okay, the Democrats think the Republicans will contest the election because of some comment.
My question is, when you say the market thinks something, you're not saying the market is sentient. You're saying the collection of people who are a part of the stock market, all of the value of the stocks is based on what value the people trading think it has.
Yeah, and they don't all agree. So I thought, okay, maybe they're right. They're saying, oh, if Biden gets in, he's got these policies of taxing a lot of businesses, which is, the Republicans say, going to cost a lot of jobs, destroy the economy. And the commentators on CNBC, who I used to be unbiased, were saying, oh, maybe this means that Biden won't affect the market so badly. They won't affect the economy so badly. And I kind of doubted myself and fell for that. And I believed, right? Then Trump but later I realized what actually was happening. This indicates that Trump won the debate.
I mean,
and I was like, holy shit. Later I figured this out and I'll explain why. But I guess he overpowered Biden. He was strong. Biden was weak, right?
Me Trump man, me strong.
Yeah, I know. He didn't look
win debate
like a great debater, but he did look strong, and Biden did look weak. I mean, at one point, honestly, it looked like Biden was going to cry. Nobody acknowledges that because they love him, but I was a little concerned. I was feeling sorry for him, actually. But then coming out of it, I thought, who do I want for president, a bully or a crying person? You know, and I'm concerned.
A bully or a nerd?
He's not a nerd.
He is a nerd.
He's not a super intelligent, technology-oriented guy.
Okay, you're right. He's a 90s nerd.
He's like an old guy. Okay, So I, at this point, thought, okay, maybe Biden won't be so bad. Maybe people think Biden will win and there won't be a contested election, right?
Right.
Here's Trump getting diagnosed, just so you know.
That's
October
2nd.
Friday, October 2nd. We wake up and the market is down here in the toilet. And this hollow bar indicates that it climbed. It climbed, and I don't know why it went right back down. This is full red bar means that it went down during that time frame. These are like 30-minute time frames. What caused that? I wrote here. I forgot to say, besides them saying that Trump lost the debate, Wednesday was the day that the government passed the spending bill to go through the end of the year. So basically, they were running out of money. They didn't have a budget. And instead of debating adding coronavirus to the mix and saying, okay, we're going to have a government shutdown if you don't agree on coronavirus, they decided to agree on just letting the budget keep going the way it is until the end of the year. And I thought, oh, this is really nice that they're getting along. But basically, in effect, what that is all the senators and House of Representatives voting their own paychecks while they haven't solved America's paycheck problem. You know, so it made a lot of people pissed. I didn't really think about that till I was reading comments on Twitter, and I realized so many people are mad about not getting coronavirus relief. Meanwhile, the guys in government all got their own paycheck established, you know, through the end of the year. Anyway, that's not right. I almost want to have a moment of silence for all the people who are suffering. I mean, we're talking about the stock market. So many people don't know where their food's coming from or getting kicked out of their apartments, you know. I mean, this is serious business. This isn't just a game. I'm trying to survive by trading stocks, but this is people's lives that they're playing with for politics. And that's why I get so angry, you know.
Yeah, I understand that.
So I'm sorry, but
I think that's why the people you're arguing
people.
against are getting angry too. I think it's the same on both sides.
Yeah.
It's just when everything's this bad and people don't really know which side is the correct one and how to solve the problem.
They just get mad at each other.
Yeah, because they both think you're perpetuating the problem.
Yeah, also I want to say that all over the world, all governments are being criticized by their people because of coronavirus. Okay, so Thursday, the 1st. I went backwards. Trump was already diagnosed. Oh, but I did want to say, you know, in the debate, Trump said something about masks, and he said that Fauci said we didn't have to wear masks. And then Fauci came out on Thursday with a whole news splash. I just want to clarify my position on masks. And the interesting thing is Fauci basically admitted he lied to the public, and he knew he was lying to the public. But people didn't really read between the lines to figure that out. But basically what he said is, yes, I may have said we didn't need masks early on when there was a mask shortage, but I am for masks. So basically he's saying I lied, which I found this really, I think people should be aware of how much you're being lied to. I know he did it for the greater good, but I'm intelligent enough. I don't want people to lie to me all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing is when Trump got diagnosed, Twitter went berserk with a bunch of really hostile messages hating on him and saying he should die and he should drink bleach and crap like that.
Well, of course, they
hate him.
Everyone hates him.
So the thing is, there's a backlash to that. So even Pelosi said he deserved it, and then she immediately deleted the tweet. And I didn't see it in the news anywhere, but I saw the tweet. I tried to get a screenshot, but it was too late. So I feel like these events push and pull on the future of who's going to get elected, right?
Right.
So that's why I mention it. Okay, so Trump went to the hospital on Friday. And that's probably why you see how it started to recover after he got diagnosed, because he was staying in the White House, and then they're going to take him to the hospital, and look at this market just crashing. And everyone's like, holy shit. You know, it's very concerning to the stock market usually that if there's uncertainty, and especially with the president, you know, might die, right? And Pelosi was talking to everybody about the line of succession and what if Pence gets it too, then she's going to be president, you know. She started talking to people about that, and then everyone was just going nuts, you know.
Right.
So it was crashing. And meanwhile, since the bill didn't get passed to save to support people through coronavirus, the airlines said, you know what, we're out of money. We have to lay people off. And Pelosi comes forward with and the market was way down at this point. And everyone's like, holy shit, if the airlines lay off people, they're going to lay off massive amounts of people. It's going to close down airports in a lot of small towns. It's going to mean lots and lots of jobs permanently gone for a long time. So it was, they have to get a deal. They have to get a deal. And they still didn't get a deal. So she tweeted, or she did an interview, and she said, the airline deal is imminent. Don't lay people off. I promise we're about to get a deal on the airlines. So the airlines, I don't think, listened to her. They still laid people off. And of course, now it's a week later. They still don't have a deal. That Monday, she turned around and like, she got criticized a lot in Twitter because she was saying she was going to do an airline deal. And people are like, why aren't you doing the whole deal? And other people are like, why are you bailing out the airlines? They suck. They're rich, and just, so it fell apart. She didn't get a deal. She said they were imminent, but they weren't. And they didn't do a deal. So then Saturday and Sunday's news is Trump was really sick. He stopped tweeting completely. That freaked me out because I thought he's really sick if he's not tweeting. And then he woke up on Sunday and he started tweeting and he said, get the stimulus done under any circumstances. And that inspired people. They're like, okay, now Trump is going to like just be weak and just sign anything we give him. We have to finish this, right? So then he sent his representative Mnuchin to Pelosi with a $1.6 trillion bill, an offer, which is kind of like meeting her halfway. And they were talking all weekend, like for 2 hours at a time, every day. And there was a lot of hope that the stimulus bill would finally get done. And plus she had said, it's imminent. We're going to do it. Right?
Right.
Friday night, we're way down here in the toilet. She said, airline aid is imminent right there. Midday on Friday. The market went up for one bar. And then people were like, nah, that's never going to happen. And it just kept going down.
Right.
So the market said, no, it's not going to happen. That's the majority of people pooled together, statistically, basically not believing her. And I saw that and I was like, oh, they don't believe her. I can't believe the market's not moving. So then Monday, when all this work had been done and they were talking and we came back with a deal that was $1.6 trillion, which everyone said, oh, that's way more than the Republicans were going to offer. She's going to take that deal.
Right.
Everybody expected her to take that deal. And then we didn't hear anything. And all through Monday, the market goes up. And then she says, no, not going to take the deal right here at the end of Monday.
Right.
And there it starts going down. See that? It's going down, down, down. But then Tuesday, they started circulating rumors. You know what? We're still talking. But then right here, this big bar down, that's when Trump tweeted, we're done negotiating. It's not going to happen until after the election. Because his tweet said in the first line, Nancy Pelosi's not dealing with us in good faith. She's not negotiating. And she's multiple times saying, I'm digging in my heels, I'm standing for what I believe in, and I'm not going to cave, right?
And all the articles said...
Oh my God, all the articles said, Trump is insane. This is illogical. Why is he stopping talks? And then, but you know why he did it, right? It was gamesmanship. It was immediately after he tweeted, if you send me a bill right now to bail out the airlines, I'll sign it. If you send me a bill right now for $1,200, the money's there, it hasn't been spent, I will sign it. Are you listening, Nancy Pelosi? That was what he tweeted immediately after. Just send me this part right now. Let's just do part of it. Because he was giving up. Looking logically at it, he was on The Apprentice. He knows how to play a game, And all the newspapers said, this doesn't make any sense. Has he lost his mind? They haven't even looked at the second tweet. They never looked at the second tweet, which is where he turned it around. So basically, here's the tweet where he says, we're ending negotiations. And then he tweeted, I think after the market closed, that he's right now ready to do an airline deal and a $1,200 check deal. And then the market goes back up. See how this is affecting the market?
I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about him saying, let's send $1,200 to every... You didn't even hear about that?
No.
This is why I get so livid, is because nobody reports this. I thought it was an act of brilliant gamesmanship that he basically said, screw you. Let's just give the people $1,200 right now. Let's just do it.
Right.
But if all the news agencies don't report it, you see how the public's swayed by the lack of reporting, right?
Right. 100%.
I'm so aggravated. I'm sorry if you're liberal and you think I'm full of shit, but you have to hear this. If you want to make money in the stock market, you have to understand what's going on really. And the fact that the majority of Americans don't know about this crap.
I'm sorry. I have
the majority of Americans don't hear this. Makes me worry that they're just going to be controlled and swayed, and the market might be wrong. But here's what happened. Trump tweeted about being ready and willing and able to bail out airlines and send everybody $1,200 right here. And do you see what happened for the following 3 days? Just straight up.
Yeah.
Okay. So over here on Thursday, Nancy Pelosi starts saying, he did such an illogical thing, calling off the talks, because nobody's acknowledging that he did that to try to just piecemeal get it done. She's like, he's not capable of serving as president because he doesn't have a clear mind. So does someone check and see what his medications are? Can we have an independent doctor analyze it? They want to have the House of Representatives decide if the president is able to serve the people. Is that fair? We voted him in, and the minority, the House of Representatives, wants to decide if they can kick him out. How can you not have an opinion on that?
I stopped having an opinion on politics long ago. This isn't an opinion piece. I'm biased.
Do you think we should just have somebody with a big mouth decide who's president? Or should we let the people decide in elections and honor their decision?
I can't give my opinion on this show.
Yeah, you can't. Okay, so she's bringing up the 25th Amendment. So the 25th Amendment is the one where they take out Trump and make Pence president. And who's next in line?
Michael Jordan.
Nancy Pelosi is next in line. So if Pence gets she's like counting on, it became clear in the tweets. They were talking about, well, what happens if Mike Pence gets COVID too and they both die? What'll we do? Nancy Pelosi's like, we have to get this lined up right now. We have to have something ready and be ready to make a transition of power peaceful. Well, she's the one who's the next in line. Are you following this?
Yeah, I'm following it.
Okay, so the market kind of went sideways when she started doing this crap, but it pretty much didn't take her seriously because it just kept going up. You see this?
Yeah.
Now, here on Friday, she passes a resolution to make the 25th Amendment enacted by the House. And she says, this isn't about Trump. This is about just, in general, the transition of power. We need this.
What do you mean the transition of power?
Because she's saying in case Trump, it just called to our attention that he was so sick that we need this resolution. Why isn't she passing the COVID relief still? She's busy trying to get rid of Trump again. And she's saying he's insane. And that's why I get so worked up. And I actually posted on my account the fact that if you try the same thing over and over again, which she has done for 4 years, getting rid of Trump, if you try that over again and expect a different result, that's the definition of insanity. So who's the insane one? It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. I'm pissed. But looking at the market thinks she's full of shit. Do you see that? They just went sideways for a bit, and then they're like, nope, that's not going to happen, and it shoots up.
That's assuming that the market supports Trump. I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Okay, so why did it go sideways when she said why is it every point on this chart is completely parallel to Trump's fortunes?
Well, except for Trump dropping the deal, but that's not necessarily his thing.
That was for a few minutes until he posted about the why he was doing it.
I think that there are a lot of factors here that we could also consider that maybe you're not considering. So what would you say to someone who says that?
We can talk about those. I just want to make sure I talked about all the... also back here on Tuesday when it really went down.
Yeah. The
chairman of the Fed said, if you guys don't get a deal, immediately there's going to be serious, serious consequences to the economy.
Yeah.
So something has to be done. So that probably triggered Trump doing that act.
Well, that's going to be a problem if we don't get a deal.
It is a problem. It's been a problem for months and months. And he's aggravated. He's multiple times he passed the executive order that gave the extra $300 to the unemployed. He passed a lot of executive orders, but his powers are limited by the Constitution.
Right.
That's why he said, Nancy, are you listening? Because they need to pass something for him to enact it. He's the president. He can't enact stuff like a god.
Right.
Here's the actual quote. If I am sent a standalone bill for stimulus checks, $1,200, and they go out to our great people immediately, I'm ready to sign it right now. Are you listening, Nancy?
Yeah.
So here's the reason why they say she's not negotiating in good faith, if you don't understand it. There's a lot of stuff called pork in the bill. It's an old term. Basically, she put a lot of extra stuff, extra fat in there. So basically, she set up the bill to be something the Republicans would never pass. Now, I keep thinking, why don't they pass it anyway? But then I read some of the list. They want to build prisons, have cashless bail, which means everybody can get out on bail without providing any cash, release mass prisoner releases, including violent prisoners, have stimulus checks for illegal aliens, have nationwide ballot harvesting, which I don't know what it is. They want to ban voter IDs, which means you can vote without showing your ID. They want to bail out all the Democrat-run cities and states like California. You know how we've been shut down and everybody else like Texas opened up again? And they want to just give Democrat states like ours that has screwed up all the cash to bail them out. They want $600 million taken away from the police departments, from law enforcement. They want to change abortion laws. What does that have to do with COVID? I don't care what side you're on the abortion thing. They want to define abortion laws with their agenda for eternity with this bill. And then they want to send all this long list of things for foreign countries. These millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars for all these plans are for outside of America, countries other than America. So can you see why the Republicans would not want to pass that?
Yeah.
So here's her plan. She sticks this stuff in, and then she's like, oh, the Republicans don't care about you. They didn't pass the bill. That's an old political trick because she's a politician. Trump is not a politician. He's a guy. He's a businessman. But he's not going to fall for this crap.
Yeah, no, that
I'm
makes
sorry.
sense.
I have expressed my opinion. I'm sorry I have an opinion. You know what? You got to say that in California these days. This has turned into a place where you're not allowed to have an opinion. Okay, so another thing that happened is on the 7th. Here's the other thing that happened. So Wednesday, the 7th, right here, where it starts going up like crazy. This is another possible explanation for why it might have gone up. Trump gets out of the hospital. He's looking good. He's talking on videos. He's releasing videos. He's doing interviews in front of the White House. He released this video where he said, and he was criticized by a lot of people because he got these medicines that worked so well. And they're like, well, how come we don't get that? How come only the president gets that top-notch medicine, right?
I did hear from my friend Dan that Dan was watching the live feed as Trump went back to the White House, and he like took his mask off in the middle of like a bunch of Secret Service agents and stuff.
Okay. Did you hear this as a rumor?
No, I heard this is someone. Dan was literally watching the live
And he
feed.
was, did you watch it?
No.
Okay.
But I believe
Was he
Dan wouldn't
outside?
lie.
Was he outside?
He was walking into the White House.
Okay. First of all, that's a whole other thing. The media shows a picture of Trump standing on a balcony and he takes his mask off. He's alone on a balcony, outdoors, miles away from people. I mean, not miles, but
In this case, Dan said there was like a Secret Service agent right there.
okay, I have not seen anything like that, and I'm shocked that I haven't because all the news organizations picked up this shot of Trump on the balcony when he returned to the White House, and there's nobody in it but him. So if they could prove, and they were all criticizing him. So logically, think about this logically. If they had a video that showed a Secret Service man and they're trying to say how wrong Trump is for taking his mask off, and I'm not kidding, I was going to make this point. CNN, MSNBC, All the major news organizations said, isn't it a shame? I mean, this was a major news headline. He took his mask off. He's threatening the lives of countless people. He's, and should I show you the shot? I printed everything. He's standing on a balcony with a flag on one side and a pole on the other side. Oh, I posted it. There's nobody there. If they had a Secret Service man standing there, wouldn't they have shown that in the shot when everybody was so outraged?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, get your phone. Look at my latest post.
I'm not going to do that. I want to move on. I want to stop talking about this now.
Does it make you feel nauseous?
A little. Can we move on?
Because I'm so upset.
We're not talking about the stock market anymore. We veered off topic into bias.
Okay, but it is relevant because the media is twisting things, and I need you to know that this. I don't know what Dan thinks he saw, but the majority of the media reported on this and showed a shot of the president standing alone and saying, "Isn't it a shame he's taking his mask off?"
Right.
So all I can think logically without checking it out. Ask him to send you a picture of him with a.
I don't know. Okay.
Okay, I will look through the internet for this picture and I will see if it's true.
Okay.
I doubt it. He's probably 6 feet away. Okay, so Wednesday he gets out. He goes to the White House. He goes on the balcony. He takes his mask off. Every media organization in the country criticizes him for taking his mask off. He's standing on a balcony with a flag and a pole next to him. And I know that was off topic, but he goes out in the Rose Garden later and does a video, which he releases to the public. He says, this treatment that I received, this top-of-the-line treatment, Regeneron and remdesivir, they combined on him. They're approved by the FDA for emergency use. They're in hospitals available now. They ordered, with Operation Warp Speed, 300,000 doses of this stuff, and they're going to ship it. The president said that he's going to supply it to people free. That happened, right?
Right.
Right there. Stock market's going up. Of course, the news didn't cover it, but the stock market knows. And also, remdesivir's stock went up. Gilead's stock went up. Because, Regeneron and Gilead's stock went up. Because people know that this is going to happen, but the news media doesn't cover it. Do you feel like, you didn't hear about it, right?
Well, yeah, but I was.
You heard about it from
attention.
me. Okay. Okay, so the other issue is the debate. So then on Thursday, the debate commission, which is supposed to be unbiased, said, we can't have Trump in a live event. We're gonna have a Zoom call debate. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I heard about it from you.
Okay, so like in a Zoom call, who gets an advantage to that? Maybe somebody who needs some cue cards?
I mean, to be perfectly fair, they could totally set up cue cards for Trump in a Zoom call.
They could totally set up cue cards for Biden. Apparently, in his town hall events, the questions he was asked were predetermined and he was reading cue cards. So anyway, Trump's like, no, a debate's supposed to be face-to-face. What's the point of doing like a Zoom call thing? You know?
Right.
And we talked about this in the car. Trump did interrupt him a lot and looked really bad. And so they probably wanted to cut his mic. But who does that serve? If they constantly cut Trump's mic, what is he, if he starts responding and they cut his mic, they have all the power to make anyone look a certain way. It's kind of making it easier on Joe Biden.
They should mute Biden whenever it's Trump's turn to talk as well.
They should, because they didn't on the debate. The one or two times he was interrupting him, they didn't do anything.
Just mute them both.
Yeah, that
and
would
then
be
ask
fair.
them questions and just watch as they move their mouths silently.
Okay, but honestly, couldn't they do a mute the mic thing at a live debate?
They could.
It would be so fucking easy. So that's bullshit. So they said
the guy who was running the debates mic was muted the whole opening speech.
yeah, obviously they know how. But so they're saying it's because, we're risking lives having Trump there in person. That's such bullshit because all viruses, within 5 days of the initial symptom, your pretty much not shedding virus. And if you have 24 hours with no fever, you're not shedding virus. This is the standard from CDC. But on COVID, they, out of an abundance of caution, have turned it to 10 days just to be certain. And the debate, it's already been 10 days. The debate wasn't supposed to happen until next week. It's already been 10 days that Trump has met all those criteria. So it's obviously not to protect people from COVID.
Right.
So I feel like it's kind of crooked. So I'm just really down in the dumps this week because I feel like the media and the debate commission are all out to get the Republicans and make them look bad and are lying to the American people. And I wasn't always of this opinion. I used to be mainstream independent, and I started seeing this happen with Tesla stock, actually, where people were trying to put it down. Big industry groups were trying to destroy Tesla, and they would do this fake news trick. And they're doing it to Trump now the same way they did it to Tesla, except Tesla survived. Okay, so my point of this whole thing is right here, these last few days, especially Friday, Thursday and Friday, all the pundits on CNBC were now saying, we have no clue why the market's going up. We think that people are falsely hoping there will be a bailout, a COVID relief plan. And I think they're wrong, because if you look at the chart and the way it acted through all of these things, the debate went up. Trump diagnosed, it went down. Every time the deal got broke, that went down. So the COVID relief did make it go down. But then Trump said, I'm ready to sign. But Pelosi has pretty much come out and said, forget it. Most of the experts have come out and said, forget it, it's not going to happen. And yet the market just keeps going up. So how do you think that's happening? Do you think that that's the market thinking one or the other of the candidates is going to win?
I don't know what it means. It's very difficult to look at the charts and say, oh, the market thinks this, or oh, the market thinks that. And in reality, it often comes down to a bunch of overlapping factors. But I do think you have a solid point, at the very least, when you note this pattern. I think it might be somewhat clear that the market does support Trump.
Well, honestly, we all know the market supports Trump, but honestly, the question at hand is truly, does the market think Trump's going to win? Or does the market think COVID is going to get passed, a COVID relief plan is going to get passed? Or does the market think the economy is great without it?
I don't know.
I think that's a dumb thought, but it's okay. I mean, there's a lot of good news on the economic front, and these are big companies. I know the answer. Here's how I know. When I was watching this, and Pelosi came out a couple times and said stuff that should have moved the market about the deal, the market didn't move.
Right.
That made me think that it's about Trump. Well, maybe it could be they just don't believe Nancy Pelosi. I thought it meant that the market isn't being moved by COVID relief. It's more being moved by what looks good for Trump, what looks bad for Trump. Like Trump getting COVID made him look bad, right?
Right. But I think that at the end of the day, it's just COVID relief. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, every time Pelosi does something that makes Trump look good, the market goes up. Every time Trump does something that makes him look bad, the market goes down. But Trump getting over it really fast makes him look good.
Right.
Trump getting over it and saying, hey, it's no big deal, and I'm going to make this free to everybody, and I'm going to sign a bill if you guys give me this, it makes him look good. It's not getting done. Pelosi's not doing it. But every time Trump makes himself look good, the market goes up. So when you look at all these events in order and you realize that, I realize the market is about Trump winning the election, which is really weird because all the polls supposedly say Biden's leading and he's growing in his lead. But in 2016, Hillary was leading. I meant to look up the amount. In 2016, everyone thought Hillary was way ahead of Trump. And there's no way he's going to win. And I was disappointed, but I went to the election anyway, and I voted for Trump because I believe these same principles about the economics, being able to solve these problems.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really bad that the things Hillary wanted to do were not going to be good for the economics of the nation. So I voted for Trump, and I thought that was a wasted vote. And then everyone was shocked overnight. Trump won as the Electoral College votes came in and the count came in. Everyone was so shocked. Overnight, the stock market plummeted 900 points when Trump first won because they were just shocked. And then it rose like 700 above where it started before the market opened the next morning. It went crazy. It was a crazy night. So I got the feeling that the polls are wrong again, and the market's telling me that Trump's going to win.
We'll have to see.
In my heart, I don't believe it because I believe the polls. I believe the news. I keep watching the news, but this is predicting that Trump's going to win the election.
I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know. It's weird.
All right.
So I do want to say one last thing about my my trading. I didn't say how my week was.
People are criticizing you because they say you change your mind all the time.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I posted a joke. I posted a joke. I said, "Hey, after the vice presidential debate the following week, which was this week, I said, I'm voting Democrat. Everybody here is voting Democrat. No need. Hey, all my Democrat friends, I changed my mind. I'm voting Democrat. You guys don't have to go to the polls anymore." You get the joke, right?
Yeah, no.
I'm basically saying if you're smart, you'll figure out that I'm lying and just saying this as a joke. If you're dumb and you're a Democrat, you're not going to go to the polls. I was an insult joke. I think I should cut that out, huh?
I don't care. It's a joke.
Okay, you get the joke.
I don't really find it funny, but it's a joke.
Well, people who know me well at this point know it's a joke. So one of my followers in my investment club said, "Are you really voting Democrat?" And I figured it must be a Democrat, because what Republican would fall for that? I don't know. I'm sorry. Does that seem like something a Democrat
that's very
would say?
much profiling. I think that's not good. I think that's not good of you.
Well, I got kind of
shame on
frustrated.
You for thinking that.
Okay, so I had put LOL after it, and the guy still asked that. So I put LOL stands for laugh out loud, which implies I was joking. And then I went on to say, I feel like America's getting an intelligence test and failing. I'm very disappointed. And the guy got really offended. And he said, well, the reason I said that is because you're always changing your mind. And I'm like, what does he mean? I'm changing my mind. And then I realized I'm a day trader. So I buy in the morning and I sell in the afternoon. And it looks like changing my mind to some people. They can't take it. It's too frequent. So when I post like stuff about when to buy and sell and what I think the market's going to do, I have to remember to always say, remember, I'm a day trader. I'm looking at a very short term.
Yeah.
However, I have a prediction.
What is your prediction?
I think the stock market is going to go up from here until December 31st.
Okay.
I'm sure of it. There's all this money sitting on the sidelines deciding whether to get in, which is basically people who have cash that is not invested.
What if the COVID
Let
deal...
me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Cut that mic.
Okay.
No, don't cut the mic.
Wait, which one am I? Am I 1 or 2?
No, don't. I just want to finish. There's all this. Please stop. There's all this money. See, this is like a presidential debate. Okay, go. Do you want to push the sound effect? Push it. Let's see what. Oh my God. That would be perfect at a presidential debate, wouldn't it?
Presidential debate, but with Jim Cramer on the sound effects.
Okay, my theory is this. It's going to go up from now until December 31st because there's all these people with money they haven't invested that are seeing as the market keeps going up, even though stimulus isn't happening until after the election. The election's almost here. What's 3 more weeks? We've been dying now for 4 months. So they're going to get left out, and they're bit by bit, more people are going to buy some stock because they're seeing the other people making money, and it's going to cascade into a big surge of people investing in the market. Also, earnings are going to start being announced. Now, I think when people announce their earnings, the future looks really bleak, but I think they're not going to talk about the future. I think a lot of companies are not going to make projections anymore. They're just not going to say anything. which it's traditional. They say an estimate for where they think they'll end up. I think they're just going to leave it out. So people are just going to hear these really good earnings reports because the economy is actually still doing really well right now, in spite of the fact that people are starving, because the people who have money have been spending it up till now. So the record goes only through September 30th, and all this money is starting to run out for a lot of people now, but it's not going to be reflected in these earnings reports that are coming up. What was the major news from last week?
Trump got COVID.
No, that was the week before. This last week.
I don't know.
Trump recovered.
He did?
And it was the biggest week in the S&P in more than 3 months. So what do you see there, you know? I mean, there you go.
There you go, I guess.
My week last week. Oh, my God. Besides being crazy about politics, which...
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Call Girls podcast.
I did really well. I'm doing my model. Okay. I have a model I created using almost 700 days of data. It's worked consistently since I came up with it in June, but I didn't work consistently on it. So this last 2 weeks, I very strictly stuck to the model, except for Friday. I very strictly stuck to the model. I made money every single day. I averaged 10%. I wanted to average 15. So I was kicking myself. And last time we recorded this podcast, you were comforting me because I was feeling miserable because I didn't make my 15%
You
a day.
made your 10%. That's a lot.
I did make 10% every single day, including Friday, but I could have made like 25% on Friday. So I felt miserable.
Right.
So this has just been a miserable weekend.
Are you okay?
This is from yelling Republican opinions, not COVID. My point is, though, that I actually feel really good about having sold early and not making 25% on Friday. It's because we've been in a trading range and we were up at the top for 3 months. I was going to show you this other chart, but for 3 months we've been going up and down and we keep hitting this level where we're at now, and then it doesn't go higher. So when you hit the top of a trading range, either you go higher and it takes off upwards, which I think is what's going to happen now, or it goes back down. But there was a iffy moment there. It was a Friday. A lot of times Fridays either go down or they go way up. And I thought, well, it could go down. I thought there's never going to be a deal on the PPP, so on the COVID relief. So I knew that. And I didn't know how the market would respond to Nancy Pelosi saying she wanted to have the power to remove Trump from office. And I don't know, there were a lot of factors. And one of the factors is when you trade options, you pick a strike price. So like when you buy an option and the stock's trading for $133, then you usually buy a strike price around that level, right? Because that's the most commonly traded level, is the strike price that's the same as the price of the stock. Then it starts going up. So my stock went way up. It was like at 138. It was at 138. And I wanted to, I decided to sell it and get out, because if I don't sell it, nobody's going to be trading a 133 strike price option anymore, and I'll have trouble selling it later. If you have too many people trying to sell something and nobody's in the market for it, you get a lousy price.
Right.
So that was the other reason I sold. So I feel like I made a good, wise decision, and I really wanted to keep my streak going, because I have a streak of 10 solid days of making money every single day.
Right.
So I just sold and got out. I'm losing my voice. I deserve it too.
We're almost done.
Anyway, let's say goodbye.
That's the ending. That's the ending we're going with. Okay, goodbye everyone. We're going off the camera now. We're gonna shut it down.